Too smooth, that mud talking to have your ass in a wreck. Signing your check, pussy better do what he says. We shutting down shows, ain't gotta put no price in your head. Man, I'm coming for your tongue for all that shit that you said.
Gonna makes the profiles boom, 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 boom. What it is, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, and then of course I'm gonna tell you what it ain't. What it is real talk by a real one in real life doing real things that seen it all and done it all. But nothing to make you think twice. You try to roll hard, but you're no gonna look, ain't nothing nice. Orale. And what it really ain't is bullshit. So with that being said, as you can tell by the thumbnail there, we're gonna profile active norteños. Yes, indeed. I wrote graffiti on the bus. Sit down here. Pay attention. What we got going on is real talk. Okay. So I remember hearing the word active, meaning active norteños, active sureños, active whatever it may be, probably about the year 2005, 2004, I would say. And that's when it seemed like a whole twist and the tide turned. Things changed, especially in Merced, California, where I'm from, located in the Central Valle of California, right there in that crevice, homie, where we get it in. We're active and we function. We make it happen, right? Now, at the same time, what you need to understand is active norteños carries weight. That you hear that and you're like, fuck, Holmes, active sureños, fuck. You know what I mean? The vatos will get active on you, meaning they'll fuck you off, right? And that ain't far from the truth. You know, vatos, you can't come up short. But what active means and being in good standings means are two different things. Okay, there's individuals that are in good standings, meaning they're still with the program, they're still with the business. If they get incarcerated, they're gonna go in, be general population, kick it with the righteous homeboys, be embraced. Canalismo will be shown. It's all good in the hood. Now, where they go from there is up to them, totally up to them. But being active means you're out there gang banging, homie. You're out there looking for dropouts. You're out there fucking going against the enemigas, the rivals. That's what active means. There's two different sides of that token. So again, we're not talking Chuck E. Cheese. Now, Trip, active norteños, I remember in 2004, 2005, when I first heard the term, about the same time I heard the term dropout. Now, being from where I'm from and being laced up how I was, I had already known what a dropout was. And I was aware that a dropout was one of the big four prison gangs. A guy that had basically defected from there and had dropped out of the gang was considered a dropout. Now, there was dropouts all the way from the 70s, 80s, and so on and so forth. And I knew about this. They were put on soft yards. They were put on integrated yards. They were put on special yards or even segregated yards. So that way they could function, do their time, get on and get the fuck on down the road. Now, at the same time, you started to have a cold twist and a turn of things that were going on. And one of the things that was going on was a lot of politics were changing, meaning vatos were starting to implement taking out the trash. You started to see removals a little bit more than you ever did. I remember being in Tracy prison at the time, and it seemed like we were always on lockdown. And we weren't on lockdown because we got off with the enemigas. This was a reception. We were most of the time on lockdown because every time we hit the yard, somebody would get removed. They get removed because they fucked up along the line. They had cleanup to they didn't clean up. Sounds good. They were the BNLs. They were considered on freeze. They were just looked at in a bad light. And so every fucking time we came out to that big yard, somebody was getting removed. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what went into the removals, but let's just say vatos got carried out for the most part, most of the times. We were getting active. And that word started to become prevalent, and we were active norteños, meaning we were actively politicking. We were actively involved with what was going on around us. Now, there was vatos that were considered non-actives. I'm in that boat, right? That still had the love, the burning desire for the people, but at one point in time, man, were deemed because of one reason or another, or just basically walked away from the gang. They no longer wanted to be part of the Ranger Games. They no longer wanted to function like that. And that's quite understandable, man. You know, one of the most known non-active or dropout gang members, I won't call him a dropout, I'll say non-active, is Badass Snoop, you know, the founder of the Northern Riders. Him going against the grain, him not trying to be active anymore, him always having that makeup, that DNA in his body to say, you know what, Sasuke, I don't like the way this is going. I'm not trying to let no other man tell me what to do. But of course, at the end of the day, what happens? He turns into exactly what he ran away from. You know, he starts to become a dictatorship and telling people what to do and starts to build this empire to which I can't call it, right? I can't call the Get Down. I'm not with that program, but I will say this is what that guy did. But he's one of the most notably known non-actives because that's what he was doing. That was the agenda he pushed. He considered himself a king. He wanted to still gangbang. And Sasuke, he did that in that fashion. But meanwhile, we're like, yeah, So I don't even know about the vato. Is he non-active? Is he active? Is he non-active? Is he inactive? He's non-active, but he's active in his own little clique or whatever he's got going on. Okay, so active norteños, they're different. They're different from a traditional norteño back in the days. Now, I remember back in the days when we first were homeboys, it was different for us. We didn't say we were northerners. We didn't say nothing other than we were norteños. Now, of course, politics changed the wordings change all the time, but we considered ourselves norteños. I was raised that way, and that's why I always say the word sureño instead of Southsider. Now, I understand when you go to prison, there's a difference there. You know, and for those of you that don't know, I'm here to give you the rundown and tell you there's a difference between a sureño and a Southsider. There's levels to this shit. It's kind of like YouTube. You're down there with your little old measly ass subscribers, and other vatos are up here. There's levels, right? And there's same thing in prison. You know, there's going to be levels to the total activation that you got. But I've always been known as a norteño when I was on the streets. And that was just because I was a Chicano of Mexicano descent from Northern California. We were automatically considered norteños, being the northern raza, the raza up north. Whereas down south, sureños, the raza from down south, the southern raza. Now, of course, we knew that we were enemigas. We knew that when push came to shove, we were to get off we were mad at. On site, in some cases, yeah, more so with the upstate sureños. But I know when I would go down south to visit familia in Wilmas, the harbor area, it wasn't like that. If a vato hit me up and said, hey, where you from? I would say, I'm from Norte Califas. There was no hesitation in my voice. There was no teeth trembling. There was none of that. That's where I was from. I was going to hold it down from where I was from. I did that for many years in Whittier, down south, incarcerated. So it wasn't going to change now. Okay, but was I active norteño? Well, I wasn't actively trying to go out there and smack some motherfuckers, but at the same time, I was still holding it down for my people and my beliefs and my cause. Okay, that's what active means to me. Okay, but the world has changed and things have changed now, and that's why I thought for no other reason I should profile it, what exactly an active norteño is. Vatos are with the business. Okay, every city, every hood, every body was different. I'd be remiss if I sat here and tried to tell you, oh, it's just one, this is how it is, and that's just the way it's going to be, and vatos. No, everybody has a mindset. Everybody has a mentality. Everybody has freedom of will. There's freedom of speech as well, too. Everyone can do what they want to do and say what they want to say, how they want to do it, and how they want to say it. That's a fact. You can't take that from no one. So the interpretation of an active norteño is very broad. Some people consider themselves, hey, look, I ain't never fell off. I ain't no punk, basura. I never functioned on a bad yard or none of that. I'm active, homie. You know, it is what it is. Oh, is that right? Well, where was your antennas when the homeboys were shooting motherfuckers the other day? Well, so because the way it works out, right, was my old lady and my sister-in-law. See, they needed a ride that day because they were going to have a birthday party for their kids. And then the baby daddy came. He's a sureño. We were kicking it. You know what I mean? I'm active and I function. And it was all, yeah, orale, right? I hear you. I've always looked at it for exactly what the word active means. If you can fucking decipher it, if you go in the dictionary, active means you're really out there pursuing something. You're really out there functioning, right? So vatos that are in good standings, I would tell them. I would give them the rundown. They'd be like, I'm active. I'd be like, Charlie, you're not active, bro. You ain't doing shit. Sasuke, you're kicking back right there on the couch playing PlayStation while your old lady's going to the welfare department trying to get more food stamps. Period. That's just what it is. You know what it is. Now, are you a righteous vato in good standings? Of course. And I can't take that from you. You ain't never went to prison to fuck up. So you're good in the hood for now, right? Eventually, Sasuke will be eating carne asada. It's all good. Tacos are on the way. I already know. But active norteños that are really with the business, I will take nothing away from them. They're dangerous. It's a dangerous situation when you come into contact with vatos that are really active. When vatos that are real hitters, they're out there smacking some shit. Because they're a true belief system. They're true believers in their cause. Okay? Cause being whatever you make of it. There's no exact fucking dictation what the cause is. You know, some people do this because they're generational. Their family were gang members before them. That's all they know. They grew up, you know, being norteños or sureños, and they love that. Some vatos, on the other hand, got jumped into the gang because, Sasuke, they just grew up in that neighborhood. Homeboys all wanted to gangbang at that point in time, and boom, they got in where they fit in. They were fucking a follower, not a leader. And then there are some vatos that fucking, you know, they seen fucking drugs, they seen the hyenas, they seen the cars, the women, the whatever, the boop, 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 and all of a sudden they're like, I want them on too, right? Boom, I'm going to be a gang member because gang members always win, or do they? I'm here to tell you, not every time, right? But they do in most cases. But then there are some vatos that have leadership qualities. Vatos that were born with a baño. Vatos that you look at them and you say, God damn, homie, that fool's a hitter. You know, he's been a hitter, a whole hitter, nothing but a hitter. So help him God, right? The Vato's down with the business. He's with the activities. He's down, and he's an active norteño or an active sureño. These Vatos are the ones that when you walk into a party, Sasuke, they're standing up against the wall like this. You know, fully strapped up and ready for whatever, ready to get active, meaning they're ready to spit them bullets if they have to pull it. You know, ain't no bullshit here. So there's always been a misconception, and I wanted to profile the active norteños because they deserve their just due. And the active sureños will get their profile as well. But these Vatos I consider different from your just regular element of gang members. Okay? I'm talking about Vatos that are really functioning, Vatos that have dedicated their whole life to their belief, to their cause. Now, growing up, it was instilled in me that I was a norteño man. I needed to lift my own. I had to back the play of my people. I had to stand my grounds for my gente. I was never to put my fucking head down, and I was never to deny where I was from. So I was scared. My name ain't Peter. I ain't gonna deny 3 times. I knew what it was. Okay, so Vatos hit me up. I was quick to get active, but only we didn't call it active back then. We just called it, we're ready to fight, you know? If a Vato was like, hey, where you from? I was like, West Somerset, North to Dead End, whoop-de-whoop. Now I know as being an older gentleman and not in the gang life, man, I was looking like a baboso because other people would look at me and they'd be like, motherfucker, this is a quinceañera, Vata. We're just trying to dance and shit. What are you doing? Right? I was quick to judge people. I was quick to assume. I was quick to think people were sureños when they really weren't. I was quick to think homeboys were in bad standings when I didn't even know and seen paperwork. I was very judgmental. I was a judgmental person. And for that, I'm sorry if I ever fucked you up. Dispensa. But the word active now is being tossed around crazily. Is that a word? Crazily? That's the word now, right? It's being tossed around a lot. Okay, I'm hearing youngsters that are wearing turquoise skinny jeans, TikTok pants, that are over there on Twitter fucking trying to tweet YouTube, you know what I mean? Because they got demonetized talking about, hey, homie, I'm an active norteño. You better watch out who you fuck with right now. No. You're not that. You're an active chirujo. All right? Just because you're from a neighborhood or just because your older brother's in the pinta, he done did 20 years homes, doesn't mean that his fucking achievements are your achievements. Sasuke, you're still at home playing Fortnite, vato. Let that shit go, right? Just because you wear a little red or burgundy doesn't make you an active norteño. Now, what does make you an active norteño? A true believer. A vato that's instilled with dedication is truly dedicated to what he believes in. He's truly dedicated to his barrio, to his gente, to the land that they fucking are trying to achieve total victory for, to the push for social status of equality. You see, people get the game fucked up. They think, oh, being a norteño is about dressing a certain way and being cool, and that makes you active because you're a rapper or a gangster, or you throw a red paño up in the air, hums, you're active. Nah, Charlie, hums, that's not what makes you active. The active vato are the very quiet ones that are educating their minds, that are learning their history, that are learning the history of the Mexicano people from which they're derived from, or other Latino descents. The people that are willing to aid and abet anyone of a Latino descent. Now, let me explain something to you. I had a big misconception when I was younger, when I was laced up, thinking that the sureños were the opposition. Charlie Holmes, you know who the opposition is? The administration. The people that are fucking weighing down on all of us. And now, with this end of hostilities in certain situations, people are starting to understand and realize that. And real active norteños know this. You know what I mean? The number one enemy is always going to be the canine. It's always going to be the one that's oppressing the people. Now, of course, there was a war that was fought for several decades over a pair of shoes and some bad interpretations. At the end of the day, motherfuckers rolled with how they had to roll because that's the dictation that was put out to them. You will always mind someone, especially in prison. Just like in your barrio, you're going to have older homeboys that you respect, homes, and if they're like, hey, we're going to go out there and do that, you just do it, you get in. That's part of being active. Being active is shutting your fucking mouth and handling your business when you're told to handle your business. Now you say to yourself, well, gun, well, that doesn't seem right. You're not a man on your own 2 feet. Oh, you're always going to be on your own 2 feet, but you'll get knocked off them if you don't go with the program and go with the flow. Now, I know being incarcerated for a long time and doing a lot of time, I've met a lot of real righteous, solid sureños or Southsiders. Bam, man, I give them respect. And the reason why I give them respect, because I'm willing to aid and abet anybody of a Latino descent. Those were the bonds that were instilled in me. These are the things that I memorized. These are the things that I lived by. The creed, the religion, the Bible. This was what I was about. And anyone of a Latino descent, meaning any brown person. Now, look, I was chopping it up with the Southsider yesterday, a homeboy. And he said, you know what's funny? Is we had the game mixed up, bro. He said, these rappers nowadays, these active rappers, whether it be an active sureño or active norteño, continue to play this role that they can't do music together. They're both Latinos, one just being from Northern California, one being from Southern California. But trip out, how is it that the Southside rappers can pay money or do fucking raps with Too Short or E40 or Mac Dre when he was alive, right? Yet they can't do a song with an active norteño, right? This is another Latino. When you're in prison, let me give you the rundown. This is what we were talking about yesterday. When you're in the pinta, when you're in prison, you could take food from a norteño. Oh yes, crumb cake y todo, right? Pancakes, oh my. You can do that, and vice versa. Norteños and sureños. But sureños cannot even touch a tray of an Africano. This is how it is. Okay? This is just how it is. But they can make raps with them, even them being from Northern California, and vice versa. You know, norteños can do raps with vatos from Southern California as long as they're Africanos. I don't get it. I think raza should be aiding each other. Okay? I'm not hating on the Africano people, man. Much love to my brothers. You already know where the gun stands. But at the same time, I will say it just seems mysterious, right? To me, that doesn't seem fully active. To me, that means that's fully mixed up. Okay? True active norteños strive for total victory, meaning they strive for their people to be put in victorious situations, meaning the safety and security of the people will be upheld to the highest esteem, meaning the household will stay functioning, meaning flags will be planted, presences will be felt. Vatos will feel the presence of a true active norteño because they actively believe in what they have going on, what is told to them. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, it's all bullshit, gun. So I was scared it's just a whole bunch of fucking older vatos trying to dictate the program. Chale, that ain't what it is, man. When you're a true active norteño, it's not what another man says, it's what another man does and leads by example is what you adhere to. Right? When I seen these vatos, these forefathers that set the foundation, man, that went out there into these yards, 2 or 3 of them with 50 opposition, man, and held their own, didn't take their fucking, put their shirts on when they were told to, you know, rock that Mongolian homes, represented the North in the fashion that they did. I was proud to be carrying on that torch. I was proud to be a norteño. Now, somewhere along the line, the game got a little fucked up, and I understand, man, and still, I don't hate the game. You know, I respect the active norteño cause. I respect the homeboys that are still doing it to the fullest, you know. Don't get the game fucked up, man. The gun got love for the homeboys, but at the same time, a lot of certain situations and what man does changes organizations and changes causes. It changes things. There's a cause and an effect, and the effect ain't always what you believe in. And I got myself put in that bad situation, and I still didn't hate the homeboys. I still have love to this day for the homies because I understand that it was just a few fucking rogue fucking bandito characters. A few bad apples can spoil the whole bunch, but you got to pick them out. ¿Sabes qué? Un pinche worm in there and todo. I'm like, boom. You know what I mean? Bad apple. And it happens. It happens. And do I sit here every day and cry about it? Fuck, man. If Otter did this, Otter did that, and this would have happened. Charlie, man, it was what it was. I ceased to become an active norteño when I violated the rules and regulations of red on red. And do I deserve to be considered non-active and no good? Yes. In the lights and in the eyes of the cause? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say Charlie Holmes and try to fucking justify it and all that. That's not what it is, man. Hey, when you're with the business, you know the business. And if you don't adhere to the business to the fullest like you should, then you get what you got. Straight up. So I'm not going to sit here and cry over spilled milk because I don't even like milk anyway. And that's just what it is. But a true active norteño is someone that will strive for the excellence of the people. Someone that would go out there for the gente and show face. You know what I mean? Always be willing to make sacrifices and are truly dedicated to the belief. You know, the Norte has not just been around for 10 years or 15 or 20 years. It's been around for several decades. You know, my tío, his homeboys before that were ones making necessary sacrifices so these little young rappers in these videos could have red paños. Okay, so when people just wave these red paños around and Huelga bird shirts and the symbolization of the people, and they take it for granted, man. It's not like that, homies. You got to respect the foundation, the forefathers, and where this shit comes from. That's what a true active norteño does. It's not about going out there and Bangladeshing people and shooting people. So, I mean, that don't hurt too, you know what I mean? Vatos got to do what they got to do. But at the same time, a true dedicated active soldado is someone that's willing to sit down with the opposition and talk it out, homes. Someone that's willing to aid and abet anyone of a Latin descent, meaning if a sureño's in the oil, homes, you shoot him a care package, you look out for him because he's brown. And at the end of the day, that's what fucking truly matters is brown people. Now, there might be some discrepancies. There might be a few similarities that are off. There might be some fucking love lost. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going to look out for a Mexicano, whether he's from the north or the south, period. Even when I was active, you know, and I was functioning. Straight up. Because that's what's righteous of a true Norteño, and that's how a real active Norteño carries himself. Anyways, with that being said, man, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, it's not about being active or non-active or nothing about that. It's about being active in the community for your gente. Bring the people together and let's move as a unit, man, and with a smooth purpose. If you like this video, this profile, please hit that like and subscribe. If not, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy is the head that's going to wear Gunner's crown. You know, we're going to continue to do what we does because we does what we do. And we're making it happen. I'm active in a function. Or am I? Charlie, you're not, Gun. Dispensa.